Part 10. Post-Cancer Addendum for Second Edition. The following writings were finished subsequent to staying in NOLA throughout the Great Storm and after unmitigated circumstances in the day succeeding. The post-hurricane world found me doing good time in a small-town county jail and fuck-all Louisiana, and a discovery that my apartment had burned to the ground, containing 25 years of music, art, and literature. Lost. Mere material possessions. In the year and months to come, I was incarcerated once again for a previous probation violation from 2003. All this has been a greater learning experience and can only prove to increase the dimensions of command of which we hold dear. For those of you that have read this book the first time around, a lot of water has passed under the bridges we've burned. These next passages are only a small part of some 20,000 odd words that are to be published one day in the near future. No sooner than later. Mike Williams, Out in the Woods, 2008. Trying to crack the hard dollar. Trying to crack the hard dollar. Mistake after mistake. Uneventfully. The League of Bitter Enders raise over their coalition, necks craning over to see the collision. Saboteurs sift and pick through fragments and sawdust. Crushed tactical command posts litter the thoroughfares. Rust controls our every move. A seam of dry-eyed tear stains, configuring craters and redrawing the map, one neighborhood at a time. The usual trappings. Pro-fascistic commandeering, anti-capitalistic slogan daring, jaded, cynical pessimist, beggarman can arise, delimited and disreputable, shit-mouthed bastard can only find his way, sightless and without leg. Thief of laws. You're lying about the strong rumors. You're not telling the truth about the poisoned dogwood. Wanderers with pre-war thought patterns, carried off to the ridges, raving like Arab whores. A mob scene erupting out there in the quartz. The June of October. Extinguished distinguishment, and a foul sense of disbelonging. In this river lies the dialect of the worst and the best, in the land of the plentiful, plenty of struggle, and more so of strife, a pocketful of dismal reaction, a month of Sundays to a magnitude of foolishness. I drop my penny in the collection plate and shuffle down the aisle. Wife of Sodom, if I light one candle, I'll light 3, trying not to turn you into a pillar of salt. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Don't look back, lot. Rainbows over the Viet Cong. After a good night's rain showers the land. The rice fields hold remembrance, in a war-torn way. Villages and settlements recall the fire, and the offcuts of grenade. Breathe in some of that good fresh air, 'cause it's a small world after all. Mantra for prohibition. The new hooks are in, and the stratagem to go with them. Fly fishing for a certain aptness, trying new angles and ways of self-depreciation. But no one is taking the bait. This time I'm not playing fairly. Still looking for the answer key. Never knowing the question in the first place. Then especially thrown off course. Falling into chance, ciphers, and codes. Missing Black Saint. Chrome trapdoor gleams and sparks. Mechanized, genocidal threats spew, and spit fumes and smoke. thick charcoal. Droning on and about. To know madness and folly is to know her. Purposeful behavior by accidental coincidence. Collapsing in on myself. I became a wandering black void, meandering to and from, inside to never. When gravity and matter fold in on themselves, it's empty and unforeseeable, like the dead sun will be. Binary systems in negated terms, swallowing constellations, dwarfing the vastness with vagrancy and street logic. The ever-contracting space between desire and pleasure, it was never easy. Removing the memories, extracting the years from other centuries, parables of disappointment and the crossed swords of addiction. From the elementary to the penitentiary. They were never scared straight, only scarecrows with straitjackets. Part of the contest we're playing is part of the contest we're losing. A bet on an unsure thing gives your bookie a run for the money. Her, the adulteress. One most unhygienic, bracelets of briars and corsets of the cheapest silk, hung as raggedy scarves, veils for the christening of young schoolgirls, torn clean off the bone, spot weld and chiseling, bore holes and drilling, strapped on for dear whatever it's called. The ride begins at the bottom of the heap. You have to be this close to the floor to get off. The need to be unsatisfied. The sin and repent cycle goes on and on. Forever making what you make it forever. Is hope only a word? I'm about tore up with frustration. The payroll and its infiltration. Brass knuckles for snitches and informants. Illegal use of hands to the face. Picking up a couple hot charges to add to the list. It's all the same. Swimming through looted property is not a hobby to be proud of. And that is the end of the book. A denizen of the interstate U.S. bus system, Mike Williams was born in High Point, North Carolina, pit stopping somewhere along the lines in New York City, and as of this writing, is currently living in New Orleans. Like a rat with 9 lives, poverty, asthma, chemical abuse, and run-ins with John Law led to fending off life's battles with a shrug and a gut punch to the torso of society. Survival lessons were taught uneasily, breathing life and reality into words only a mother could hate. Michael is the vocalist for many punk and rock groups, most successfully with the band I Hate God, and currently Arson Anthem and Outlaw Order. Formerly the associate editor of Metal Maniacs, he occasionally writes for a number of underground rock and roll publications.